Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So this is a lesson, hopefully a quick lesson on Al-Huruf al-Jarrah, either as a revision, if you've already learnt it before but you have forgotten the concepts, or as a complete beginner. Both is fine, inshallah. Okay, so proceeding. So the title, Al-Huruf al-Jarrah over here. Al-Huruf is obviously particles, and Al-Jarrah are those particles that give the next word a jar, meaning a kasra. So in English we call these prepositions. Al-Huruful Jarrah, those particles which give the next word a jar. Okay, so effect. A harfu jar. So Al-Huruful Jarrah is obviously plural, singular is harfu jar. A particle of jar gives a jar, meaning a kasra, to the ism it acts upon, which is then known as majroor. So the particle itself is known as harfu jar, and the word that it gives a kasra to is known as a majroor. So if you look at the example over here, so here it says katabtu bil. So the B is a harfu jar, and what's the majroor? Qalami, al-qalami. So that's why the qalami has a kasra. So the B is the harfu jar and the qalami is the majroor. Okay, so over here, but anyway, we'll go into that in a minute anyway. So first thing you have to remember, the main thing you have to remember here is a harfu jar gives the next word a kasra. How many harfu jars are there? There are 17 al-huruf al-jarrah. So the letter B, ta, ka, li, wa, mundu, mudh, khala, rubba, hasha, min, ada, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. If you can memorize all these, then that is perfect. So when I was studying, I memorized all 17. So I can say all of these from the top of my head. And the way I memorized them was bata, kaf, lam, wa, mundu, mudh, khala, rubba, hasha, min, ada, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. Okay, so if you can memorize them, perfect. If you can't, then at least when you come across them, you should be able to recognize them. So you should know them that well, that whenever you come across them in a text, that you recognize them immediately. Okay, now let's go through the meaning of it. So let's read this together. So the B means with. So for example, katabtu bil qalami. Katabtu, I wrote, bil, with the qalami, the pen. Ta comes for an oath. So you'll say tallahi, by Allah. Ka comes for like. Zaydun kal asadi. Zayd is like a lion. Li comes to means for, or to show possession, that something belongs to something. So alhamdu, all praise. Li is for Allahi. So if you notice, all of these harful jars are giving the next word, which is the majroor, a kasra. So alhamdu lillahi kal asadi. So the ka gives the asadi a kasra. Or waw comes for an oath. Wallahi. So the waw, which is a harful jar, gives the Allah, which is a majroor, a kasra. So again, mundu means since. Mudh means the same thing. Ma ra'aytuhu mundu yawmil. So I haven't seen him since the day of Sunday, or since Sunday. Mudh means the same thing as mundu generally. Khala means besides or except. Ja'a an-nasu khala Zaydin. The people came except for Zayd. So khala is the harfu jar and Zaydin is the majroor. So the khala is giving the Zayd a kasra. So rubba means many. So I'm not going to read through all of them because you can read them yourself afterwards. Hasha means besides except. Hasha Zaydin, an example. Okay. And then we have min. So min is a very important one. You need to be able to recognize it immediately. So raja'atu minas safari. So I returned from the journey. So min is the harful jar over here, and the safari is a kasra because it's majroor, meaning the min harfu jar is giving the next word, which is majroor, a kasra. And ada means besides except. So fi is another very important one. So whenever you see fi, you must give the next word a kasra. So fil bayti. An, again another important one. Sa'ala at-talibu anil maridi. So the an is given the maridi, a kasra. Ala is another very important one. So ala means on. So الثوب, the cloth, على الكرسي. is on, so we have ala, the harfu jar, and the next word kursiyi is given it a kasra. Then we have hatta. So one form of it is that it comes in the meaning of harfu jar, so it gives the next word a kasra. And ila again is a very important one, which means up to or towards. So ila al-madinati, to the city. Okay, so I've just highlighted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 very important ones that you must know immediately. So the bi, li, min, fi, an, ala, ila. You must know what these mean. And whenever they come in a text, you must be able to recognize them. Okay, so let's go through some examples. If you need to pause the video and just to digest what we've done so far, feel free to do so. Once you're ready, let's move on. Okay, so in the house. So what I want you to do, these are some examples. So in the house, from the house to the masjid, Zayd sat on the desk, sugar is like salt, I asked regarding the lesson, I wrote with the pen. What you can do is, just to see if you're able to do it yourself, see if you can pause the video and write these sentences in Arabic while writing the correct harakah. So if you want to pause the video and do it yourself, you can do as well. But if not, I'm going to go through them now anyway, if you don't want to try it yourself. Okay, so I've highlighted the Huruf al-Jarrah in red, and the nouns are in black, or the verbs. Okay, so first we start, so the sentence is in the house. So first we'll write fi. So fi will be over here, fi. So this is the harf al-jar. And then we have, actually what I'll do, let me just write it in black. Make it easier. Okay, let's bring this on the top. Okay, so we have okay, so fi, and then al bayt. Sorry, let me remove the keyboard there. Okay, and the ta at the end. Okay, so fil bayti. So here we'll say this is harfu jar, and this is the majrur. Harfu jar, okay, so this is the fi is the harfu jar, and al-bayti, the word after it, is majrur. So the fi is giving the bayt a kasra. So that's how it works. Fil bayti. Let's do another example. So we have from the house to the masjid. So again, so we need the harf al-jar first. So from, which is min, al-bayti, from the house, to, which is ila al-masjid. Okay, so now let's see the harakas. So the min is a harf al-jar. Okay, sorry. So the min is a harf al-jar over here. See the mouse over here, and then next to it is the majrur. So the min will give the word next to it a kasra, which will be over here. That's why it's al-bayti. And ila is to, which is another harf al-jar. So we'll give the next word a kasra. So it will be masjidi. Okay, so it's very simple. So the min is a harf al-jar. Let's label it harfu jar, and this is majrur, and this again is the harfu jar, and this is the majrur. Okay, let's make the space a bit bigger. Okay, so that's that. So the min is a harf al-jar, which is very simple, and the ila is a harf al-jar. Both give the next word, which is called the majrur, a kasra. So let's say in a lesson, if I ask you why is bayt with a kasra, what you will say is majrur of the harf al-jar min. That's what you'll say. So remember this terminology, harf al-jar and majrur. Okay, let's try the next one. So black ink, Zayd sat. So generally we make this a jumla fi'liya, so the verb comes first. So jalasa Zaydun. Zayd sat. Now we need the harf al-jar, which is ala, which is on. So Zayd sat on. What did he sit on? Al-maktab, the desk. Okay, so now let's go through the haraka. So jalasa is the verb, which is the fi'l. Zaydun has double dhamma because, try and say it before me, because it is fa'il, the doer. So the doer of any verb is always given a double dhamma, remember that. And here is what we're looking for, is a harfu jar. So ala is a harfu jar, which means on. And the harfu jar, we know the next word is a majroor, so it will have a kasra. Ala al-maktabi. Jalasa Zaydun ala al-maktabi. Okay, so very simple. Let's do the next one. Let's create a bigger space. Okay, so now we're going to use another. So far we've used fi, min. So we used fi, we used min, we used ila, we used ala. So we used a few different huruf al-jarrah. Now we're going to use another one, which is like. So if you remember, like was over here, ka. So we're going to use ka now, which is a harf al-jar. So the harf al-jar will give the next word a kasra. So sugar is as-sukkaru. Let's change to black. Move the mouse over here. Okay. As-sukkaru. Okay, so now we've got like, so which is ka, alif lam, kal milhi. Let's move the mouse out the way. Okay, as-sukkaru, so the ka, this is the harf al-jar over here. Let me just, so this kaf is the harf al-jar. And then after it is al-milh. So the lam has a sukoon, the mim has a kasra, and this lam has a sukoon. Okay, so as-sukkaru is dhamma because it's a mubtada. So it's a noun and it's a mubtada. And the ka is what we're looking for, which is the harfu jar. And milh, al-milh is, will be, what will we call this? Say before me. Oops. So say before me, what will this be called? It is the majroor. So because it's a majroor, we get a kasra. As-sukkaru kal-milhi. Okay, let's do two more examples, then you should have mastered this. Okay, so now we're going to use regarding. So you must remember, you must know these huruf al-jarrah from the top of your head. So if I say regarding, you should know that it is this one over here, an. So regarding is an. Okay, so I asked in Arabic is, so let's move the mouse out of the way. Actually, it's not moving out the way. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I asked is sa'altu. Sa'altu, which is the verb, fi'l, regarding. So regarding was an. Let's see if I can move the pointer. Okay, there. Sa'altu an. Now the lesson is ad-dars. Sa'altu an ad-dars. Or you can, if you join it, you can say an ad-dars by giving it a kasra. So that's fine as well. Okay, so let's look at this now. So sa'altu is the verb. So this is the fi'l, and the tu we can say is the fa'il. So I. And here harfu jar is the an. So this is what we're looking for. Harfu jar. An. So again, whenever you have a harfu jar, you need a majroor. So they both come together. So this will be the majroor. And the majroor always has a kasra. over here. So سألت عن الدرس. Okay, so it's very straightforward. Let's do the last one. I wrote with the pen. So now if with, as a student of Arabic, you must again know what with is in Arabic. So if you look at the table, B. So the table with is B. So let's do this. So I wrote is a verb, so just جملة فعلية. كتبت with. So we're going to, and is the pen. So the with will join to the. So ba, this is the harf al-jar, and this is the alif lam of the pen. So bil qala qalam. Okay, so now let's see. Katabtu again is the fi'l. It's the fi'l madi, and the tu is the fa'il. Yep. Okay, so now but what we're looking for here is the B. So this B is the harfu jar, and you obviously know by now the harfu jar gives the next word a kasra, and you also know what the next word is called, which is the majrur. And so biqalami. Katabtu bilqalami. I wrote with the pen. Okay, so that's it. I hope that's enough for you to understand this concept. So again, if you have time and you're able to, memorize the entire Huruf al-Jarrah chart. So if you need to screenshot this to memorize it, if you don't have the book, then screenshot it and memorize all of them, or at least know the ones I've underlined very well, so whenever you come across them in a book, then you're able to recognize them immediately, and without even thinking, you give the next word a kasra. Okay, so we'll end it there, inshallah.